Hello, and welcome back to this yoga journey. Today we'll be exploring yin yoga, which is a style of yoga that is a lot slower. We'll be holding poses for 3 to 5 minutes, so we won't be doing that many poses as you might imagine. And as such, it may not be as invigorating, but I think you might find that it can still be quite an intense practice. We'll be holding some poses and going deeply into those stretches, and sometimes it can be really intense. So, as always, I recommend that you listen to your body, and if you need to back out of any poses early and whatnot, I encourage you to do so. So, listen to your body and don't push it too hard. I recommend, and I'll be demonstrating how we can use pillows throughout this, as well as towels or yoga blankets or anything like that to help prop yourself up. So we're not going to be holding a lot of weight. We won't be doing any balances like that. So when we move into a pose, we'll use the cushions to help hold ourselves up, bolster our bodies so we can focus and relax into the stretch, and we can not have to worry about anything like that, and holding strength or anything like that. So to start, we'll find an easy seated position as usual. And the breath work for today will be a 3-part yoga breath. So let's take a moment to become aware of the breath as it is right now, without trying to change it yet or do anything. Fluttering the eyes closed or taking a soft gaze. Just notice the breath as it is right now. Maybe you even notice that as we notice it, it automatically starts to change. That's okay. Just take a few breaths here in your meditative seat. Get any wiggles out that need to get out. And as you're ready, we'll start the 3-part yoga breath by first breathing deeply into the belly, then into the chest, and then finally up into the collarbone. And then exhaling the same way, collarbone, chest, belly. Then inhaling deeply into the belly, chest, collarbone, and then exhaling down. For the first few rounds, let's have our hands follow the breath. So hands are at the belly, breathing into the belly. Hands lift to the chest along with the breath, and then into the collarbone. And then exhaling down, collarbone, chest, belly. Continuing this breath at your own pace. Belly, chest, collarbone. And exhaling all the way out again. Continue to breathe in this way, taking a couple more rounds with your hands following your breath. Then allowing your hands to rest easily and gently on your lap. Continuing this breath, focusing on the breath, belly, chest, collarbone. In Chinese medicine and philosophy, yin is associated with the unconsciousness, with nighttime, with coolness, and that kind of reminded me of topsoil, like this fertile potentiality that exists in the earth and the kind of unconscious parts of ourselves, that vessel, that openness. So today as we practice, I encourage you to connect with that innate fertility in every human mind, that sort of passive receptivity that we all have. I encourage you to keep this breath going throughout this entire practice. You may find it easier to connect to this breath while we're in longer holds. Bringing hands to heart center, tuck the chin a little bit. And then we'll move into Robin's breath. Inhaling, hands at heart center. Exhaling, hands forward. Inhaling, chest opens. Exhale, forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale here. Inhale again. Hands go forward, back rounds. Inhale, opens. Heart comes forward. Exhale, hands come forward. Inhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale again. Exhale. And then continue at your own pace, starting with an inhale. And then exhale, rounds the spine. Warming up the spine, warming up the shoulders. Meeting back at center for a few breaths. And coming forward into tabletop position, moving any props out of the way that might be there. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat, round the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Taking any other gentle movements here. Moving slowly. I have a watch on and I'll be keeping track of time, so I'll be sure to even out the time on both sides, and when we go into the longer poses, I'll be silent for most of it, so I encourage you to really just sink deeply into the pose and don't worry about how long we've held it. Just sit with the feelings in your body. So we'll go into a long devotional pose hold here. If you want to use a towel tucked between your buttocks and your ankles, that can help pad there. You can even use a pillow between your thighs and then one over your chest so that your weight is fully supported. You can even tuck the pillow all the way into your hip crease and then maybe find a pad for your head. Finding whatever's most comfortable for you to surrender deeply into this pose. The heels are tucked in again and the knees are out in this pose. We'll hold this for 3 to 5 minutes. I encourage you to sink deeply in and connect to the breath. If the mind wanders, simply return it back to the breath. And see if you can just be in the body with the breath. Feel free to adjust at any point to make yourself more comfortable and relax deeper into the pose. Moving slowly, walking the hands back under the shoulders, slowly pushing up, coming back to a tabletop position. We'll find a seated position, either kneeling or sitting on a cushion, whatever's more comfortable for you. If you find that kneeling causes pain in the top of your feet, I would suggest a seated position. I personally prefer kneeling for this. We'll be doing a few neck stretches as well as eagle arms. We'll be here for quite some time, so maybe if you're kneeling, you can put a pillow between your feet and the ground. That can really help soften that position, and then you can even really, if you want to go for it, put a pillow between your ankles and your sit bones. Get real cozy. And from here, we'll take a neck stretch. So in this stretch, again, we'll be here for about 3 minutes. So it'll get quite intense, and a lot of us hold tension in our shoulders, and this stretch in particular can help kind of flush some of that out. So I encourage you to use your breath here. Imagine that your breath is kind of bringing warmth almost, or water. It's like bringing water to ice or to salt, and the tension kind of melts and goes down the arm. So I like to have the left arm out to the side. It can be touching the ground or maybe floating a little bit. And both shoulders are grounding down, and then bringing the right ear towards the right elbow, finding a stretch in the left side of the neck, or maybe even the top of the shoulder, the trapezius area, wherever that stretch lies for you. I actually even can kind of feel a stretch coming down the front of my arm a little bit that seems to be associated with that shoulder tension. So as you're ready, moving into the stretch on the left side of the neck. Like I said, we'll be here about 3 minutes, exploring a little bit, rocking your head forward and back and finding the optimum stretch for you. And once you're there, I encourage you to just breathe slowly. Remember that 3-part yoga breath from before. Bringing the breath to those areas of tension, allowing them to release and slowly melt away. As we come out of this pose, I encourage you to use your right hand to help lift your head up. So you're not using neck strength, bringing the left arm in. Maybe rolling out the shoulder a little bit, turning the head from side to side. Then we'll roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Just a few times. Forward, up, back and down. Releasing the shoulders. Forward, up, back and down. Good. Now we'll go the other way. Back, up, forward and down. Back, up, forward and down. Last time. Back, up, forward and down. And then finally we'll melt the shoulders back and down. Good. Preparing for the other side. Kickstanding the right hand out. Again, it can be reaching out towards the floor or maybe out at a slight angle. Melting the left ear towards the left shoulder. And finding a stretch on the right side of the neck. Tilt the chin forward and back to find the place of optimum stretch. And again, melting both shoulders down. We're not hiking either of them up. They're both melted down. And once you find that optimum stretch, go back to the breath. Consciously bring your breath and your awareness to those tight spots in your neck and shoulder and allow them to slowly, slowly release. We're in no rush here. We have plenty of time. As we come out of this pose, use your left arm to help bring your head back up to center. Bring your right arm in a little bit and roll out the shoulder a little bit. And that kind of release coming back to normal. We'll roll the shoulders again, this time going back and up first, and then forward and down, back and up, forward and down, back and up, forward and down, last time, this time meeting in center, and then coming forward and up, then down and back, forward and up, down and back, feeling the shoulders relax as we do this 2 more times. Last time, forward and up, down and back, Good. You might have noticed that where the position of your neck and your arm, the optimum stretch might have changed as it released. That's totally normal. If that happens, I encourage you to make some adjustments throughout the stretch to again find the place that's best for you. This next stretch will be coming into either eagle arms. So eagle arms are like this, if you recall, or if that is too intense or inaccessible for you, we can also come into thread the needle. So if you prefer to come into thread the needle first, we'll start with the right hand grounded, bringing the left arm up towards the sky, and then bringing that through and across. The goal here is to stretch the back traps and the lats to help release the muscles along the back, kind of starting the neck, and then we're going along the back, and then we'll do the chest after this. So if that's your preferred place, I encourage you to go there. You can use the pillows kind of along your chest to help support the weight and really relax into that position. If you prefer to do eagle arms, we will, or you can go across like this if you prefer that. It's kind of hard to relax into that position though. If you prefer eagle arms, we'll start with right arm on bottom, left arm on top. We'll come across first, and then we'll bring the arms to meet with palms touching, and then we'll start the timer. We'll hold this for about 3 minutes. Breathing deeply here, bringing the elbows up and down, exploring the tight places in the back, maybe where we hold our tensions or anxieties, stressors, and emotions. Allowing the breath to consciously release that tension. There's no need to hold that right now. If you would like to, you can even pull the arms in towards each other. So I'm pushing my right arm into my left arm and my left arm into my right arm to create more of an engagement along the back that can increase the intensity of the experience and the stretch. Slowly releasing eagle arms if you have them. If you're in thread the needle, inhaling the left arm up towards the sky, planting both arms down. From wherever you are, shake both of the shoulders out a little bit. We'll allow some free time to roll the shoulders one direction and then the other, helping to kind of neutralize that experience. Turned out it was really hard to look at my watch in eagle arms. Okay, preparing for the other side. If you prefer, thread the needle. We'll inhale the right arm up towards the sky and exhale, thread it through. Again, you can use a cushion between your torso and your thigh. Don't put too much weight into the side of your head. In fact, it's better to not put any weight in the side of your head and have the weight held by your arm, your right arm. If you prefer to do eagle arms, this time we'll bring the left arm underneath, right arm on top. And then if it's accessible, bringing palms to meet. And then exploring here and find that optimum place of stretch for yourself. Returning to the breath. Consciously bringing the breath and the awareness to those places of tension. Imagining that your breath is like water running over salt, and the tension just simply dissolves and melts away. On an exhale, slowly unwind to release. If you're in, thread the needle. Bring the right arm up towards the sky on an inhale and exhale to release down. This time, rolling shoulders forward and back. Forward, up and back. Forward, up and back. 2 more times. And finally, melting the shoulders down the back. Feeling that new space we've created there. So we've stretched the neck and the back shoulders. Now we're going to stretch the front of the chest to help kind of even out the stretching we've done in the back. This can be a kind of a tricky stretch to find. So we'll have a single cactus arm. And what we'll do is lay down and then twist away from that open arm. So I'll do my best to show you here. I'll show from a couple angles. This is, again, another one where it's really nice to have a pillow. So what I would recommend is putting a pillow down from your head, and then we'll start with the left side. So bringing the left arm down at a half goalpost, like a half cactus arm. And starting with the chest down and then rolling the hips open. And now it's probably hard to see, but my left arm is planted down, and if you can imagine that's the other arm, that arm is planted down, and then you twist away from it. And I'll show you again as if I'm laying down. So if I were laying down on here, my arm is at half goalpost. I'm twisting open that half goalpost, twisting open, and doing our best to really isolate the stretch in the front of the chest. It's not so much in the shoulder, it's really in the chest, opening up and stretching the pec muscles. You can use a pillow between your legs to help relax your hips. You can use the pillow out in front of you or in your right arm. So from here, we'll sink into the stretch. And we'll hold this for about 3 minutes. So reconnecting to the breath. And if you need to, you can walk the elbow up and down, maybe closer to your head or closer to your body, to where you can localize that stretch. And once you're there, I encourage you to breathe deeply into that, opening up the front of the chest. Okay, from here, we'll simply roll to our belly, releasing the stretch from the left arm, kind of wiggle the shoulder out there, and then planting the right arm down this time into that half cactus or goalpost position. Elbows in line with the shoulder at about, and then the wrist is up towards the head at about 90 degrees. And then placing the pillow wherever is most comfortable for you. Maybe it's between your legs or holding it with your other arm. And then from there, rolling over onto the right side. The right hip goes down, the left hip starts to open up towards the side, finding a stretch in the right side of the chest, and reconnecting to the breath. Maybe you need to pull the elbow in towards the body or up towards the head a little bit to find that optimum place of stretch. Alright, so to come out of this, we'll roll back onto our bellies again, releasing the stretch from the right side. Coming up to a seated position, pulling out the shoulders a little bit. Okay, so we've stretched our neck, our our shoulders and our upper back and our chest. Now we'll really work to stretch and release the mid and lower back. And to do this, we'll do a seated forward fold, but we're going to make it a little bit different this time. So take a blanket or a towel, or you can even roll up your mat a little bit. Or if you have a meditation cushion, you can sit on that. But sit on something to really raise your hips up just a little bit, and then imagine that you're tilting your pelvis forward as if it were a bowl of water, and you're going to pour some water out of it. And then take a pillow or a bolster and put it under your knees and allow them to deeply bend, and then take another pillow and put it over your chest. If you only have one pillow, I would encourage you to do the one over your chest rather than under your knees. But if you have both, then you have that option. And then from here, we'll take a forward bend, and but with knees bent, we can really round the spine. And I encourage you to release all the way into this. Allow your neck to hang heavy. And we'll hold this for about 4 minutes. And I encourage you to sink deeply, deeply, deeply into this. Returning to the breath. Allow an expansion in the full back side of the body. Allow your weight to be fully held by the cushions. Imagine that you don't have to do anything right here besides breathe and witness the experience that you're having in your body. Okay, as we come up, use your hands to help walk yourself up. to an upright position. Moving the pads out of the way. We'll come into pigeon pose now for about a 3 to 4 minute hold on both sides. So coming into pigeon on the left side, we'll bring the shin parallel with the front edge or with the short edge of the mat. So the left ankle is over towards the right side, the left knee is over towards the left side. And then the right leg will go long behind us, and this time with the cushions, we'll put one cushion underneath our right hip and our right sit bone, so we don't have to support our own weight there. It's supported by a bolster or a pillow. And then if you have another pad, you can put it between your torso and your extended leg. And then, as best as you can, squaring your hips down towards the mat, and then allowing yourself to slowly lower down over the left hip. If this is too intense, you are welcome to come into figure 4. I can show that really quick. If you prefer to stay in pigeon, just stay there. If you prefer figure 4, come into a bow position, and then bringing the left ankle across over the hip or over the right knee, and then pulling the left or the right shin in towards the body, still finding a stretch on the left side of the hip. So in either case, we're stretching out the left side of the hip, either in figure 4 with the left ankle over the right knee, or we're in pigeon with the left foot across. From wherever you are, try to relax as deeply as you can into the position that you're in, surrendering your weight to the earth, connecting with the stillness. Slowly pushing yourself up. Use your hands to come up to a seated position, and then coming around, switching sides. If you're in figure 4 on your back, you can allow your feet to go one side to the other, windshield wiper to release. Coming into pigeon on the other side, we'll bring the right shin parallel with the short edge of the mat. Right ankle is towards the left side, right knee is towards the right side of the mat. Propping up the right hip with cushion. And if you have another one, you can use another cushion between your thigh and your torso as you fold forward. And if you're staying in pigeon, I encourage you to go into it, surrender into the pose. If you are doing figure 4, this time you'll bring your right ankle across over your left knee, and then pulling your left knee in towards your body. Finding a stretch on the right side of the body. Pigeon, planting hands on your shoulders, walking yourself up to a seated position. If you're in pigeon, you can lay back down, and all of us will meet laying down for Shavasana. In today's Shavasana, I encourage you to use the pads however is most comfortable for you, and I'm going to give the option to bring the bottoms of the feet together to meet in a sort of butterfly Shavasana pose. And if you would like to do that, you can bring one pillow down or maybe both of them right next to each other so it makes a sort of ramp. And then you can sort of lay back into those. Try not to have the back of your head collapse down. If you need to scoot down a little bit so that your head is supported, I encourage you to do so. You can lay like this with hands at your side and palms up. You can also bring your feet forward if you prefer. Whatever feels best in your body today. And then from here, just surrendering deeply into our final resting pose. Connecting with a gentle stillness. Close today's class with everybody still in Shavasana. So I encourage you to stay here. When you come out of it, rising slowly and gently, but I'd like to give everybody the opportunity to take a little bit of time for some self-care and some rest, and really giving yourself the opportunity to absorb this yin practice. I'll be back again next week, same time, same place. And Andrew will be leading another loving kindness meditation tomorrow. That was quite lovely yesterday. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. I'd also like to wish a very happy birthday to Andrew. He's one of my best friends of all time, and him and I have a deep connection, and I'm sending him love right now and appreciation, and I hope you have a wonderful day, my friend. For everybody else, enjoy the rest of your rest and the rest of your calm yin practice. Look forward to seeing you and hearing from you all. Namaste.